as we've really seen over the course of this past winter, as the trains go back and forth to Boston, they collect a lot of snow, especially this light, fluffy snow that we've had this year, and really create a lot of mechanical issues. First of all, it's important to kind of look at the facility and what the facility itself looks like. And it is a constrained facility. Oftentimes people say, well, you've been doing this for so long, why can't you just keep doing it? So aside from being 28 miles away from where the service begins and ends every day, there are some other, significant drawbacks to the Portland facility, which become more and more evident in the wintertime. Looking at this picture of the Portland Layover Facility after the blizzard and one of the other snowstorms that we had, it's pretty apparent that being able to service all of this equipment outside is really a huge challenge. Interesting thing about this picture as well is it not only shows the tracks and the space between them and the equipment covered in snow, but also the fact that the crews and the commissary and all the materials used to service those trains are in that little tan building off to the side, and so everything needs to be transported back and forth. So it really does create a very strained environment at the layover facility. As I said, Downeaster trains travel back and forth to Boston, and they don't get the opportunity to be regularly changed out. In larger services where there are more resources, equipment can be changed out. So a train set that's snowpacked can be swapped with another one, but our equipment used on the Downeaster service is mostly captured up here, so it's the same sets that go back and forth, and so over time, 2 or 3 runs, they really cake up with a lot of snow, and obviously don't have the opportunity to go indoors. Here's a picture here of an axle, and you can see the ice caked up. And again, it packs into every crevice, and then what happens is it heats up, it gets, and then freezes again, and then it becomes blocks of ice. The snow and ice pack impacts couplers between the trains, traction motors, doors, vestibules, and even horns. And we actually had some cancellations of trains or some significant delays because the snow was just packed inside the horn and we couldn't get it out, and the train needs a horn to be able to operate. So this results in significant mechanical failures. During the week of February 2nd, trains were delayed out of the terminal several times due to mechanical failures. And actually, during the month of February, we actually ended up canceling 36 trains, either directly related to mechanical issues, trains cascading because of mechanical issues, or other issues as well out in the railroad. This isn't the only cause for service delays or cancellations, but certainly it's significant. And when you look at that equipment, it's pretty obvious to see what the challenges are. In addition to the fact that hundreds of passengers are kept waiting and are very frustrated by this, the crews are really in a tough spot out there. Here's a picture of them during the day trying to get this snowpack off. But when you imagine that this happens in the middle of the night, it's snowing, wind is blowing, it's cold. It's just a brutal situation that would obviously be drastically improved by an indoor facility. So if the equipment could warm up inside a building, it would be a lot easier to get the snow and ice off more easily. There's all drip pans underneath as the Brunswick Layover has been proposed, so everything could go into that, and that water, the runoff could all be treated. It would be a much safer environment for our mechanical crews. It would be much safer and more efficient for our onboard crews who have to go back and forth outside in these sub-zero temperatures to keep trains running.